The iPhone 16 Pro Max is the best phone you can buy right now. Let me tell you why. Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So as you all know, September is the standard window for iPhone launches. And we're about a month away now. So today we're going to be talking about the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is the phone that I currently have, which is the phone that I've had for about, I would say 9 months now since launch. I got it the day it was announced, and honestly, this phone has been one of those devices that hasn't just ticked the boxes, but it's also been one of those devices that I've forgotten to complain about. If you're thinking about upgrading, or if you're just curious if it's worth the jump over your current model, I'm here to talk about the good, the meh, and why it just might be the phone you didn't know you needed, or don't need, or whatever, whatever you want to do, it's all good. I'm also going to touch on some cool stuff like that camera control button that they introduced last year, the crazy good log footage that you can get from this camera, generic photo and video stuff. And then at the end of the video, we're just going to get into some new rumors about the iPhone 17. So just stick around to the end to see what the hype is all about. All right, so first we're going to talk about the build and display of the 16 Pro Max. And I have to say, this screen is a proper beast. It's a 6.9 Super Retina XDR display. It's my very first Pro Max. I don't think I'll ever go back to the Pro series just because I do like the screen real estate here. It's super bright, like super bright, up to 2000 nits bright, which basically just means even on the sunniest days, you can still see everything on your screen. One of my favorite things about this phone in particular and the newer iPhone models is the 120 Hz refresh rate. And I really do notice this when I'm using and scrolling other older phone models. So to me, it's just one of those features that I appreciate when I go back to something and I see just how I don't know, ugly is the right word, or how bad it feels in my hand. But as far as colors go, I mean, everything kind of looks the same as previous models. They're not too saturated, they pop, it looks nice. Everything about this phone just looks nice. So like I said, this is my first Pro Max phone that I've had, and this is the titanium build. It does feel really light, although when you think of the word titanium, you think of heavy and clunky and strong, but it does feel really light. It's really easy to carry around. I've really caught myself admiring the matte black finish on the back too, and it is smudge resistant. So for all my fellow OCDers out there, this is a really cool feature. I mean, overall, this is probably the nicest phone that I've held. Yeah, it's probably the nicest phone that I've held throughout all my Apple phones that I've had. So I want to talk a little bit about the camera control button, which is the button right on the side here that they implemented in this previous version of this phone. At first, to me, it felt kind of a bit gimmicky, to be honest. And after 9 months, I feel like it does still feel a bit gimmicky. And I'm only saying that because I don't know if it's muscle memory or if it's just something that I'm used to, which is kind of the same thing. But when I am operating the camera app, it's more natural for me just to use my thumb on the main camera screen to navigate through the settings if I need to change something. So I'm not really sold on this. I will say that it, in a pinch, if you're wanting to capture something really unexpected or pull your phone up really quickly, if you just click the side button, your camera will pop up right away. So if you don't have your camera app on your main home screen, it's a really good feature for that, I'll be honest. So I'm not going to bore you too much with what's under the hood of these new phones. It's Apple's A18 Pro chip, and honestly, it's just a beast. It's a fast chip. So I've thrown everything at this phone: streaming, soccer games, Lightroom edits, shooting 4K log footage, you name it. Multiple apps at once, and there hasn't been any hiccups at all with these chips. I feel like compared to my older phones, I do notice speed and smoothness upgrades, and I think that just comes naturally with upgrading your hardware inside your phone every year. But yeah, that's all I can pretty much say about that. It's just built really well, and I love this phone. So let's talk about battery life. So the battery life since I've got this phone 9 months ago has been pretty solid, probably one of the best ones that I've had. And again, that just comes with upgrades every single year. So I wouldn't say I'm a really heavy user, especially now that I'm going back to work soon. I won't be on my phone as much, but still I can push it pretty far with streaming videos, streaming soccer games. I don't game on it a lot, but shooting some footage, editing in Lightroom, having multiple apps open having multiple apps open at once, can't talk. And I'll usually get home with 20 to 30% battery left. So there was a moment when I did download the new iOS where my battery was just tanking super fast. I think that was like a global issue, and Apple was pretty quick to jump on that and fix it. But yeah, it's back to how it was like 9 months ago. Obviously, there's a little decline in the battery health, but it's still, it holds up very, very well. So the phone also supports MagSafe accessories, which I would say most models probably do now, which in my opinion, that integration has been super helpful if you have the accessories to do that. Okay, so now for the photo and video. So classic Apple triple lens setup. You have a main wide, you have a 0.5 wide angle, and then you have the 5x telephoto zoom lens. For me, and like for my use case, I typically just use the 1x main wide. I don't shoot a lot on the 5x. I feel like the quality is maybe a little bit subpar, and that's just me being picky because I have a Sony a7 IV. So often I am comparing the quality between these two. But in some cases, like I have used the 5x telephoto zoom, and I was able to save some of the quality in post, and the photos looked really cool, but I'm typically a 1x main wide guy. The 0.5 wide angle I'll use sometimes, but I'll try not to use it if I'm around people, if I'm shooting people, because you're probably familiar with this and you've noticed it as well, that when you do the 0.5, when you're trying to take pictures of people, sometimes their limbs can look like super long and it looks kind of ridiculous. So don't really use that one as well, only in some situations. So yeah, so the video capabilities are solid, like really solid. In particular, the ProRes log capabilities that you can shoot on a phone nowadays is super cool in my opinion. The stabilization is like pretty good. I wouldn't say it's tack sharp, but it is pretty sharp. It's sharp enough for the average consumer. But the log footage capabilities, in my opinion, like I really love getting creative with colors, and having a phone that you carry every single day, allowing you to be able to do that is pretty sweet. So for anyone who doesn't know what log footage is, basically it just means that the phone is capturing a lot more information in the footage. And the 16 Pro Max just handles all that data being processed like surprisingly well. Like if I'm shooting videos for YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, or something even a little bit more professional, I feel like the iPhone 16 Pro Max in particular punches way above its weight class when it comes to that. Okay, so now that we talked about some of the reasons why I do love my iPhone 16 Pro Max, let's talk about some of the iPhone 17 rumors that have been coming out recently. So I have some notes here on my phone. I'm just going to read them off. But from what it sounds like, there's been a lot of leaks and rumors that the next model might bring some pretty notable changes, but like maybe not. You never know with Apple. And one of the things that I noticed right away was that they are thinking about going thicker instead of thinner, which is kind of unlike Apple because I think notoriously they've been known to go slimmer and smaller with everything over the years. So to me, that might indicate like a bigger and like more powerful battery, which will probably happen, let's be honest. They're talking about the edges that could be more rounded, kind of like the smooth flowing look that we're seeing evolve in the latest iOS. So yeah, I noticed this when I downloaded the new iOS 26. A lot of the apps were pretty rounded. They weren't squared as much. The liquid glass in particular, I thought looked really cool. It just, I don't know, it looks sleek, it looks seamless, it looks smooth. So that might be the direction that they're going in with their new phones, just kind of just rounding everything to make it look more like their iOS that they currently have, and then future iOS systems. What else? So another rumor is that Apple might ditch the chunky triple camera bump. So I've actually seen this quite a few times on Instagram as well. So this part right here, the square. So I think I've seen images of that being stretched to the whole width of the phone. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen other phones have that as well. I can't think of the top of my head what they are, but the cameras in particular, there's rumors that they're all going to be 48 megapixel now. Every one of them, like the 0.5, the 1x, and the 5x. So there's also rumors of the front-facing camera going to 24 megapixels from 12 megapixels. So they're doubling the front-face camera as well. So maybe my selfies will look a little better. Probably not, but haven't heard too much on video upgrades. I'm sure there'll be some small leaps in that department as well, like they have been doing in the last few years. I'm sure it's going to be faster. I'm sure it's going to be more efficient, more smoother. Apps will open right away, yada, yada, yada. Better battery life, smoother multitasking maybe, I don't know. So there's talk about some AI features that Apple's been working on, which could change how we interact with Siri and camera features. So I think they're definitely going to add newer AI features, kind of just how the world is evolving with that. Yeah, I mean, there's no surprise there. With ChatGPT 5 coming out, like I would imagine there's going to be a lot of new AI stuff with Apple as well. What else? I think it sounds like they're going to be sticking with the colors that they normally do, like the bold colors that they normally come with, like the beige, the titanium, the blacks. But there is a rumor of an orange one coming out, and I think it's more leaning on the copper side of orange, not really bright contrasty orange, which could look really cool. Actually, a copper phone. I haven't seen any copper phones before. I mean, I mostly have my phone I don't right now, but I mostly have my phone in a case. But for people who love showing off their phone, I think they might like that. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have for the iPhone 17 now. I mean, it comes out, I think, maybe in a month from now. But I'm happy here with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, to be honest. So yeah, with all that being said, and with the launch being a month away, if you like having like the absolute best, the latest, the greatest, like I normally do, then I mean, it's a no-brainer. But me personally, I'm currently really happy with my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Anyway, that's my take. What do you think? Are you team upgrade now while the other versions are probably cheaper, or are you gonna wait for the iPhone 17? So drop your thoughts and questions in the comments. I love hearing what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.